around the fire, playing games with my sweet. She plays out marshmallow, gosh, that's hard to beat. Oh, how I desire to toast that Marlowe man, but it keeps on going back to her hand.
Come on now, let's play some Lorcana.
We'll smash some s'mores like Hans and Princess Anna.
We'll lick a Mickey bar to his friendly face, invites you through a smorgasbord of Lord Smorcana.
Well, thanks for that wonderful song, Goofy. And welcome everybody to the inaugural episode of Smorcana.
Woo!
The #1 world-rated Disney snack food Lorcana crossover podcast.
We did it. We're #1.
Already #1, straight to the top. In all seriousness, we're really excited to be bringing y'all a fresh take, hopefully, on the wonderful world of Lorcana. My name's Brett.
My name's Katie. We love Lorcana, and we're excited to talk about Lorcana on this podcast.
We have a varied history. I think a
Yes.
couple of different angles, different approaches to the game that we'll be hopefully sharing with y'all across our weekly episodes.
And talking about snacks.
And talking about snacks. See, everything will be viewed through the lens of snack food. That might sound strange, but we just really love Lorcana and snacks.
And Disney snacks.
And Disney snacks. And so we think that there might be a Venn diagram of interests that might attract a demographic cornucopia of Lorcana enjoyers. I would say that I come through to Lorcana from a card gaming background, where Katie...
I come at Lorcana from a Disney background. We are married, so that already combines the Venn diagram of cards and Disney. Brett's love for card games has rubbed off on me.
And her love for Disney has definitely rubbed off on me. Of course, you always love board games and I always love Disney. It's just
Right.
that those two passions have intensified in each other's company.
Indeed.
Why don't you talk a little bit about your history with Disney?
I'd love to. My real last name is Katie Disney. I am a big Disney fan. I'm a big Disney nerd. I'm what some on the internet would call a Disney adult. A name that gets some harsh criticism by folks who don't get it. But
That's
I'm
a
proud to be a Disney
compliment.
adult. Yeah, I'm proud to be a Disney adult. You're proud to be a Disney adult.
Absolutely, I'm proud to be a Disney adult. Why not?
We're adults. We enjoy Disney. I have done the college program twice. I did the college program in Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, and I did it at Disneyland Resort in Anaheim. I love all things Disney. I know way too many things about Disney. We've played many card games together, and when Lorcana appeared in our laps on Christmas Day, it was like a dream come true. It was perfect. All the little Disney characters, being able to dive into how they were drawn for the cards, all that kind of jazz is just like exactly what I liked a lot. And it was really cool to have a card game that I felt like I could really connect with.
Let's talk about, for a second, really quickly, like, you're a little modest there. What did you do in Disney World?
I'd love nothing more than to talk about it. And then, at Walt Disney World, I did attractions. I worked in attractions. And I worked at Rock and Roller Coaster, which was pretty baller.
And you got to ride Rock and Roller Coaster all
so
the
many
time.
times, yeah.
And you have some wild stories that maybe we'll get to share at some point.
Maybe someday in the future.
Yeah.
In Disneyland Resort in California, I also worked attractions. And I worked at a little ride called Autopia. Autopia is not as much of a blast as Rock and Roller Coaster is, but still fun in its own little charming car exhausty way.
You'll never have as many brain cells
Yeah.
post Autopia.
Yeah, for sure. I was also part of the opening crew for Star Wars Launch Bay before The Force Awakens came out, which was cool. I had The Force Awakens spoiled for me right in Launch Bay.
Tragic.
Some people who got to see it early, and
just a few hours makes all the difference, huh?
And I didn't. I found out what happened. I won't say it here. There might be some people who still haven't seen it, and I can't do that to anybody. And then after I worked in Anaheim, I came back out here. We live in New England, and I worked at the Disney store back when those existed in a brick and mortar style.
A broad Disney experience.
Yeah, I can't stop. Some would say I'm addicted.
And I have a long card gaming history, starting with the Decipher Star Wars CCG back in the 90s, continuing on to their Lord of the Rings TCG, which was the first game that I played competitively all through high school. And eventually, the game I played most competitively was the Game of Thrones LCG, both first and second editions. And that led me to compete nationally, and I had some good finishes in that game. It's a game that I still love. I love the complexity of that game. I loved building as unique and successful decks as I possibly could.
Don't be modest with how well you did with Game of Thrones either.
Yeah, so I had some, some top 4, top 16 continental finishes. Came really, really close to winning the Melee at Gen Con.
Yeah.
And it still haunts me to this day.
That's of note.
But anyway, you can see how hopefully we're going to be bringing a cross section of card gaming knowledge, Lorcana knowledge, coming at it from both the Disney angle and from the strategic card gaming angle, even though you're a successful strategic card game player and I'm a lover of Disney. So hopefully we're going to be filling in a little bit of a niche with some folks who maybe are looking for a little casual podcast with some strategic insight, but also some cool Disney facts and some discussions about Disney snacks, Disney snack facts.
Yeah, Disney snack Lorcana facts.
It's all
there.
It's gonna be wild.
Maybe someday we'll get to eat Disney snacks on this podcast.
Oh, we'll be making knockoff versions of Disney snacks. Mm-hmm. Maybe we can share that with y'all. It'll be really fun. Mm-hmm. We can brew decks and brew brews.
Ooh.
Wow.
There it is.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. We can't wait. Should we dive in to
I think we should. Our very first segment. This is a little bit of a proof of concept. Let's get to it.
Our first segment is called, What Cards Are We Snacking On? Brett, what card are you snacking on right now? What does that mean?
Ooh, what does that mean? This is a little bit of a proof of concept for the podcast right here. How can we talk about cards as if they're snack food? That makes sense. Disney snack food is bonus points for Disney snack food. So, I'll dive right in here. What card am I snacking on? We're going to do first chapter, one from first chapter each, and one from Floodborn each.
Yes.
And this will be a little bit of a teaser, as we get into the Inklings, when we do some card review kind of thingies, we can go over more cards. But this will give you a taste of what's to come, so to speak. So what am I snacking on? From the first chapter, I'm going to call this card the Dole Whip.
Oh, going with snack first.
The Dole Whip of the first chapter. And what do I mean by that? I mean something that's universal. It's refreshing. It's multifaceted. There's a twist to it. And when I think of a card that is flavorful and delicious and that everybody loves, and that will never go out of style and might be imitated, but will never be able to reach those heights, perhaps I think of Rapunzel gifted with healing. You get the card draw and the healing all twisted up together. And to me, that card it's beautiful to look at, wonderful art. It is an auto-include in any Amber deck. There's no other card that approaches its power level. When I think of a Dole Whip card, and that lovely amber color as well of a Dole Whip, I think of Rapunzel.
Well done.
Thank you.
Also, that Rapunzel that you're talking about was in our first pack of Lorcana
The
cards.
first pack we ever pulled on Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day, one booster pack was opened from a starter deck. And in that pack, we didn't know the rarities of anything. We had no idea what this card was or if it was good or whatever. Was a cold foil Rapunzel.
Crazy. We can never get rid of it.
We've also never opened a card as good as that. It's been literally all downhill from the very first pack we ever opened. I mean, our second pack had a Maleficent dragon.
I wouldn't say it's all been downhill, but it hasn't ever been as good as that.
Right.
Like we didn't keep getting we didn't get terrible cards.
No, well, I mean, we got a Maleficent in the next pack, which is pretty good, but it wasn't a full Rapunzel. And we've still never pulled an Enchanted, so that would maybe eclipse it. But it's a card that we can never get rid of now. Is that Rapunzel? So to me, the Dole Whip of the first chapter is indeed Rapunzel. How about you? What you snacking on from the first chapter?
Dang. I'm covering up my notes because we did not tell each other what these snacks are.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're going to say right now. Which is unusual.
I know. My snack from the first chapter is popcorn.
Okay.
This is Disney Parks popcorn.
Disney Parks popcorn.
When you're sitting at home and you're dreaming of going to Walt Disney World or Disneyland, you rarely think, boy, I can't wait to have that popcorn. But when you are there, you say to yourself, I'll have some popcorn. And it's good. There's nothing wrong with the popcorn. It's very cute. Comes in a cute little container. You can reuse it a bunch of times. The container lasts forever. Not dissimilar to Pascal. Pascal's a little guy. When you use him in your deck, you're happy. Just like when you have a piece of popcorn. You're happy. I'm not mad about it. I'm never like, ugh, that popcorn was nasty. That was good popcorn. Am I going to write home about it? No. Is the container going to last forever? Yeah, just like Pascal.
Excellent analysis right there. This is the kind of deep snack Lorcana crossover content I know that everybody's been craving.
We're
going to have so many food card puns and idioms.
Yeah.
All the time, and I think it's just going to start coming naturally to us. I mean, we're already talking about craving cards and craving Lorcana podcast content and craving popcorn all at once. Mm-hmm. Do they pipe in popcorn smell in Walt Disney World?
No, they pipe in cookie smell. It smells like fresh baked cookies.
Is that like a big candle?
No, it's magic.
There you have it, folks. From the inside, there is magic in Walt Disney World, magic cookie smell. So, maybe we'll get some scratch and sniff Lorcana cards in the future.
Could be good. We'd like that. Maybe we'll make scratch and sniff Lorcana cards.
The very first giveaway on our channel will be scratch and sniff Lorcana cards. If Ravensburger ever does this, then we're going to get to spoil it.
This is timestamp that we came up with the idea.
Yeah. They have to at least let us be the people who get to tell the world about the very first scratch and sniff Lorcana cards.
That might not be bad.
Oh, I'd do it.
But putting them all in a deck together, you wouldn't want to have
You'd get some unappetizing aromas, wouldn't you?
You pop open that box and it's like...
Yeah, you'd get steak berry.
Steak? You're making the card smell like steak?
I'm just saying there are a lot of Disney cards that would probably smell like... I don't know. I'm just saying that there are some characters out there who would probably smell like steak.
That's true.
Right?
I know, you're not wrong.
Who would smell like steak?
The Beast.
There you go, folks. The legendary beast that smells like steak.
He's pretty much steak.
Yeah. Which brings me to the next set, the turkey leg of the next set.
Ooh!
I don't know if I'm going to do it off the cuff. Here, I'm going to tell us what the turkey leg card of Rise of the Floodborn is.
Okay.
I haven't thought about this at all. But I'm going to say that the turkey leg card of Rise of the Floodborn, a card that I've been pleasantly surprised with lately when we've been playing, is Floodborn Hercules. I mean, that is a turkey leg of a card. I mean, even his stats kind of look like a turkey leg, like a 3/6. Like, it starts with the little 3 and then balloons into the 6. And it's resist 2, it's like bone hard. This is a family podcast.
Yeah,
So.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It can be bone hard.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Thanks. I mean, right off the cuff.
You've never had a turkey leg.
No, I haven't. Can you tell me if that's at all accurate?
I think it's very accurate. I'm saying that because I think you should have a turkey leg now. Because I think that's so accurate, you might like it.
And I'll feel like Hercules.
Yeah.
Can you give our listeners, our prospective listeners at this point, any tips about turkey legs in Disney?
Well, I can tell you something. My grandpa was convinced that there was a machine that turned the turkey legs into ham. Anyways.
I don't know how to respond to that. Wait, there was a
I.
machine that would turn the turkey into ham.
Now, this never existed. He was sure it existed. He may listen to this podcast, and he may say that me bringing this up is proof that it's true, but it's not true. But it tastes so much like ham because it's like really good cured turkey, and it's a little red, that he was convinced it became ham.
Now, when you say became ham, you're saying that it was once turkey and then transformed into ham, or that they were shaping ham to look like turkey? Like, what was his actual belief?
It's unclear, but I think he was thinking they transformed it into ham.
I mean, if they can have magical cookie smells, then why not transform one food into another?
Magic.
That's Disney magic, and you heard it from an insider there, folks. So I'm going to assume it's true now that all the turkey legs are ham.
It might be. Hope you don't have a ham allergy.
Now, do you have a card from what you've been snacking on from Rise of the Floodborn?
You ready for this?
I'm so eager because I always know, generally what you're going to say. I mean, we're around each other all the time. So and to have this secret that's going to be unveiled is really exciting for me.
This might be my favorite snack in all of Walt Disney World. It's the Mickey's Premium Bar. Now, this does not mean this is my favorite card from Floodborn. There are a lot of really good cards. But this card, every time I see it, makes me happy, much like a Mickey's Premium Bar. When you go to Walt Disney World, you say, I would like to have one of those before I leave. You have to get one before you go home. At least I do. And every time, it's consistently amazing. You could say, power, beauty, Mickey's Premium. Which is why my Mickey's Premium Bar is Hey Hey Persistent Presence. Because Mickey's Premium Bars are persistently present. They're always there. And you want one. You're not going to leave without a Mickey's Premium. You're not going to make a deck without Hey Hey Persistent Presence. You kidding me? What a guy.
Now, there are a lot of ubiquitous snacks at Disney World. I mean, you could say popcorn is a ubiquitous snack, like the Mickey pretzels are a ubiquitous snack. Is there some aspect of Hey Hey Persistent Presence that makes you think, like, that little dude is a Mickey's Premium Bar? Is it just that he's, like, super sweet?
Well, it's more that he's majestic. He has an otherworldly quality about himself.
He does have a majesty. That wingspan is absolutely... I mean, the plumage.
Yeah, and there's nothing, in my opinion, more cleanly beautiful when it comes to Disney snacks than a Mickey's Premium. It's got that crisp vanilla, the crisp chocolate. Like, they're just clean flavor profiles. It's just good every time.
And sometimes you can eat 2, 3...
Right.
Right? I mean, we've seen that happen.
Yes.
Might have done that, had multiple Mickey's Premium Bars, and if that's not Hey, then I don't know what it is.
It keeps coming back.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Thank you.
So we have the Dole Whip of the first chapter, Rapunzel. This is official. You all can book this now. This is, we've spoken, the #1 Disney Snack Lorcana crossover podcast. Rapunzel is the Dole Whip of the first chapter.
Yeah.
Pascal...
Popcorn.
Is the popcorn of the first chapter. Floodborn Hercules, the turkey leg of Rise of the Floodborn.
Hey Hey Persistent Presence, the Mickey's Premium Bar of Rise of the Floodborn.
There you have it. That's the kind of hard-hitting analysis you'll be able to come to expect from us.
That's what we're currently snacking on.
Our first segment.
Woo!
All right, let's dive into our next segment, which is something that you like to call...
Bet you didn't know about Dis.
Bet you didn't know about Dis. Dis.
Like D-I-S.
Yeah. Okay.
But like Disney.
So this is a segment where you're going to use your wonderful knowledge of Disney lore, your acumen, all things Disney, and tell us some things that maybe we didn't know as they might relate to Lorcana. And today you're telling us about, just told me his name, Eric Goldberg?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to learn all about Eric Goldberg. What can you tell us about Eric Goldberg?
I can tell you everything about Eric Goldberg.
Wow.
He's amazing. Imagine if Doc from Snow White came to life.
I like to imagine Doc.
Who doesn't? And was an animator who loved life and was also incredibly talented as an artist.
So he's a jolly, super talented leader of men artist.
Yeah, he's not really a leader of men, but yeah, he's amazing.
A leader of
He doesn't actually
dwarves.
have dwarves. No.
No, okay.
He does not. He doesn't live with any dwarves. Not that I know of.
Okay.
He might live with Snow White and the 7 dwarves.
Okay.
Well, 6 other dwarves.
So you don't know everything about Eric Goldberg.
That's the truth.
Tell us something you do know.
All right, I can tell you he still works for Disney.
Okay.
I can tell you that he animated the genie from Aladdin. I can tell you that in addition to the genie from Aladdin, this man also animated Philoctetes from Hercules.
Okay.
I can tell you that this man also animated Lewis from Princess and the Frog, the alligator.
So he specializes in hilarious sidekicks.
Yeah, he also, if you start looking at all those characters, you notice like similarities in his animation styles, which is a thing that you notice we'll continue going over. You'll notice when I bring up other animators, I'm like, they did this and this and this and this. You're like, oh, they all kind of look the same.
That's
They got a
great.
style.
So they're allowed some kind of individual expression as they're creating these characters. That their own particular mode of work really shines through and distinguishes them.
Yeah, and he's more than just an animator. He also co-directed a Disney film that's one of my favorites. Can you guess what it is?
It's from that era. It's from the same
From the
era, from
90s.
Aladdin through Princess and the Frog, from the 90s. It's one of your favorites. He co-directed it. He
co-directed it with Mike Gabriel. Mike Gabriel we'll talk about at a later date. He's also cool.
Emperor's New Groove?
No, Pocahontas.
Pocahontas. Okay.
Yeah. So I owe Eric Goldberg my life. He's amazing. He also, most recently, animated someone from Moana. This is a difficult one.
I'm going to guess that it's a hilarious sidekick character, so it's got to be Maui?
You're very close. It's Maui, but which Maui?
Oh, his tattoos?
Uh-huh.
He animated the tattoos.
He did.
Wow.
He did.
Very cool.
A couple more things he animated. I know I'm just listing his resume, but that alone is so impressive.
Absolutely.
I'm going to get to how he ties into Lorcana, but really good guy.
Okay.
He did the animation on an attraction at Walt Disney World. Animation for an attraction?
What?
In Epcot,
Okay.
featuring one of your favorite characters.
The Three Caballeros
Yes.
ride? Donald Duck?
Yes.
He did all of those little vignettes and things
Yes, and
that are
directed it.
hilarious.
Yes.
One of the most underrated attractions in Disney World. Y'all, I can give you this tip.
Go ahead.
If you find yourself in Epcot and it's a crowded day and you're a little tired from walking around the World Showcase, head on over to Mexico, maybe down a tequila, or margarita if you're feeling it. And then go into the back of the Mexico Pavilion and get on a little boat for a delightful journey with Donald Duck. It's hilarious. There's never any wait. It's air conditioned. You can see this beautiful skyline that they put in there for that restaurant. It's wonderful. Three Caballeros, back of the Mexico Pavilion, Epcot.
Gorgeous.
A wonderful break in your day.
Gorgeous. Taking a little dinner at Sun on Hell, watch the boats go by.
Absolutely. And thank Eric Goldberg for his fine work.
For 4 minutes of animation on that attraction. 4 minutes. Which is a lot when you're animating things.
Sure.
I would imagine. I'm not an animator.
Now, not to push the issue here, but
No, go ahead.
has this man contributed, beyond creating all these wonderful characters, has he contributed to Lorcana in any other way?
How hasn't he?
Wow.
I think there's a lot of ways he hasn't made Lorcana. He's great, but he didn't make Lorcana.
Yeah.
We wish he did. He signed one of the exclusive Disney 100 cards. He signed Genie Powers Unleashed. That 8-cost uninkable.
No, he drew that, right? That's his drawing on that card.
And he signed it.
Okay, so one of the Disney 100 gift set cards was made and illustrated by Eric Goldberg, also the creator of Maui's Tattoos.
Yeah, and the genie.
Incredible.
From Aladdin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, there's a million other things he's done too. You start to crack that nut open, you'll be down that rabbit hole all day.
There you go. So everybody, if you have the Disney 100 gift set, maybe take a look at that. Look at Eric Goldberg's work and consider, perhaps, his wonderful contributions to the world of Disney.
Thank goodness for Eric Goldberg. For our third segment, our desserts course, some may say, we're going to talk about some dream cards. And I happen to know, today is Valentine's Day, that you made some dream cards.
I did. I wanted to send you a Valentine's Day card, and I did so by creating a Wall-E and Eve card.
Incredible.
That there's a really cool online card editor, card maker. If you search Lorcana card creator, it should be the first hit that comes up. I'll link it in the video here and put it in the show notes. But yeah, I designed a Wall-E for you. It was a 3-cost inkable 2-4 quest for 1. He has he's a Dreamborn. This is Wall-E Broadway star.
Broadway star.
It's as if Wall-E could perhaps be a part of the performances of a resurrection of Hello Dolly on Broadway in a renewed Earth. I don't know.
He'd be great.
He would be really good. He'd be a really good Cornelius. That's his real destiny, I think. Mm-hmm. And so he has a couple of abilities. The compact ability, which is a little bit overpowered, but he draws some cards. It would be he draws 3 cards, and then you have to discard 2 cards from your hand. And then there's the Eva ability. Eva. He just gets 1 extra strength when Eve's in play. So he gets a little morale boost from having his boo around.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah. And then to synergize with that, to pair with him on this most romantic of holidays. And so Eve is a 5-cost, inkable, 5/5, quests for 1. And this is Eve Botany Bulwark. She is Dreamborn. Yeah. She's a robot. She's a princess, naturally. And she has the ability which says that when a card is discarded from your hand, you may put it underneath Eve. You can store 1 card at a time under her this way. And you can play that card that is stored under her as if it is in your hand. So it's a way to synergize with Wall-E. So if he's getting rid of junk, she can save the 1 good plant, keep it safe, and then use it to repopulate the earth.
Yeah, it's so cute.
A little cute. So we'll throw up some links to those in the show notes too, so people can see them if they're listening to this. So it's just a little dessert for y'all, a little dream card, something we might continue, little ideas for things that we like to perhaps taste in the future.
Delicious dessert, well made.
Does it have any nutritional value? Maybe not, but is that the point of dessert?
No, life's short. Eat dessert. I think Julia Child said that.
All right, so that brings us towards the close of our first episode of S'morecana.
Yep, and let me check on that. We're Yep, we're still number 1.
Wow,
Yep.
Nothing's changed. Nobody else has usurped our throne over the last 20 some odd minutes. Great.
Yep.
What's next on the menu for Smorcana? Finding out how Smorcana relates to this podcast. What is the graham cracker of the podcast? What is the mallow, if you will? We're going to talk about our plans for Inklings. It releases a week and a half from now. We're hoping to get a box and a trove.
Yep.
We're attending a sealed event on the Saturday, which is very, very exciting. And next week we'll also be recording our second podcast, in which
we're going to snack on some appetizers, some small bites.
Little bites of
Inklings
Inklings.
cards.
Just taking a taste of Inklings. A little survey, an amuse-bouche of Inklings cards. That's going to be absolutely delectable.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either. I'm so excited to keep doing this with you. This is fun.
So far,
Let's keep making a podcast.
11 out of 10.
11 out of 10. We hope that you had as much fun as we did. Please be on the lookout for more content from Smorcana. We're getting our Instagram rolling.
Yep.
Right?
We sure are. Follow us on the Instagram.
Follow us on YouTube, on whatever podcast service that you like to use.
Yeah.
Give us subscribes, likes, and follows, and any feedback. Anything that you want to hear more about, want to hear less of, you know? We're in a kind of inchoate stage of the podcast. They're formless right now, and we can be shaped and molded to your liking, like so many cookie cutter molds.
Like so many Mickey waffle molds.
Oh, there we go. We are like Mickey waffle batter waiting for the hot iron of your will to be pressed upon us.
Oh my God, yes.
And on that note, I think it's time to close the first episode of Smorcana.
See you next time.